brother and sister in Dhamma. Good evening. Welcome to evening Dhamma session. Today, I would like to ask you some very important question before I start to deliver my Dhamma discussion to you all. Think you are in such a situation where you have been insulted, you have been betrayed, you have been cheated. Think your life is with full of suffering and difficulties. What should you do if you find yourself in such a difficult situation? Then you will certainly regret. You will certainly resent thinking about the situation that happened in your life. This is called resentment. The another word for the resentment is rumination. Thinking about the bad thing that happened in your life. Thinking about the bad thing that happened in your life. If you keep thinking the negative experience that happened in your life, soon or later your life will be ruined. Why? Ruminating too long for the problem that has happened in your life cause you emotional as well as physical breakdown. This is called rumination, resentment. Then, if you really love yourself, you must first come out from the cycle of the resentment. If you think too much, slowly you build up habit. If you think negative, It is like holding burning coal, which will burn you, which will burn your hand. Similarly, when you think negative, resentment, jealousy, holding the grudge, these things certainly harm you. Your priority is to come out from this situation. This is called breaking the habits of resentment. Can you come out from such odd situation if you ever fell in? It is not really easy to come out from such adversity. Therefore, many people find easy way. They said, this is too much. I cannot bear it anymore. So they commit suicide. Breaking the habits of resentment is the important step for you to come out from this situation. The question is, how are you going to break this situation? How are you going to break this type of negative thought patterns? Whenever such negative thought arises in your mind, acknowledge that there is negative thought in my mind. Whenever there is destructive thought arises in your mind, just acknowledge that there is destructive thought arises in your mind. The most important pattern is knowing the mental condition. If it is good, acknowledge that your mental condition is good. If it is bad, just acknowledge that your mental condition is bad. This is so simple. This is so simple that you can practice anywhere, anytime. When you apply mindfulness to break the cycle of resentment, then you can break it easily. It is just knowing and making note of your own thought, own feelings. When you feel happy, just acknowledge that you are feeling happy. When you are sad, Just acknowledge that you are feeling sad. So here, the application of mindfulness is important part to deal with the resentment. When you practice mindfulness, the next step is to practice loving kindness to yourself by repeating the English phrase, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be peaceful, may I be free from enmity and danger. Then radiate your loving kindness towards yourself first as much as you can. In my case, I radiate loving kindness to myself first. Even I spend most of my time radiating loving kindness to myself. I don't radiate loving kindness to the beloved one. I don't radiate loving kindness to the neutral person or enemies. But I radiate loving kindness to myself first. This is because I am the most close friend to myself. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love others. In order to love others, so you need to live, you need to love yourself. Therefore, when you practice loving kindness, you are the first priority. Not your mother, not your father, not your brother, not your friend, not your sisters, or not your girlfriend or boyfriend. Without loving yourself, you cannot love others. Therefore, spend much time radiating loving kindness to yourself. And then when you think that I have radiated loving kindness to myself enough, now you can radiate loving kindness to your beloved one. Beloved one, it can be your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your teachers, whosoever your friends. In this regard, if you are male, you should not radiate loving kindness to female, female gender. If you are female, you should not radiate loving kindness to male gender. So this is clear warning. If you want to radiate loving kindness to others, if you are a man, you must radiate loving kindness to men, not women. If you are a man, it can be your father, your brother, your friend, your uncle, your grandchildren. If you are a woman, you should radiate loving kindness to women only. It can be your mother, your sister, your auntie, your grandchildren, something like this. And then After radiating loving kindness to the beloved one, then you should radiate loving kindness to neutral person. A neutral person is he is not your enemy nor your close friend. Have you ever found such people? You have never debate or issue any controversy with this guy. He is neither your enemy nor your friend. So he is the neutral person. And then the amount of loving kindness you radiate to yourself, you should radiate loving kindness same amount to the neutral person and then to your enemy. Your enemy means who harm you, who try to harm you, who is not agree with you, who try to make problem in your life. This is your enemy. The amount of loving kindness you radiate yourself, you must radiate same amount of loving kindness to your enemies. This is unconditional love. Your enemy can be someone, your friends who competed in your class. It can be someone who always have some issue with you. Anyone you hate or someone hate you. So this is fourth step of practicing loving kindness meditation. Of course, the many yogis, they practice loving kindness meditation every day, especially in the morning and before the night. Loving kindness meditation has positive effect. If you have issue with your friend, with your boss, with your teacher, with your friend, with your husband, with your wife, with your children, then practice loving kindness meditation, metta. It helps you to be humble yourself in front of everyone, even in front of your enemies. Loving kindness meditation kills your ego. As I always mention about the one of Australian women who had been the victim of abusive husband. When the office time, especially the office hour is end, it was a time when her husband returned home from the office. Whenever he returned home and see his wife, the first thing he does he did was to to slap, to kick his wife without any reason. He is so abusive, so irritated person, so cruel. He has no compassion. Then one day, his wife decided to run away from the house, especially at the time husband returned home. Then, after some time, she found a Buddhist monastery not very far from her home. One day, she entered in the monastery and had a sound sleep. When the abbot of the temple saw the lady was sleeping soundly on the floor, he asked the monk at the monastery not to disturb this woman. Then she started coming to the monastery every day, every day, every day, every day. One day, she interacted with the monk, and the monks asked her where is her home, why she sleep, come and sleep at the monastery in the monastery. Then she explained to the Buddhist monk about her family situation, about her cruel husband, abusive husband. Okay. As she became very close with the monk started teaching her loving kindness meditation to deal with her abusive husband. That's it. So she come into the temple every day, practice meditation, loving kindness meditation, mindfulness meditation, let go the situation, be compassionate, relax everything out of control. After some times, this woman has stopped coming to the temple for 2 months. So disappeared from the temple for 2 months. One day, because she disappeared from the temple, she has stopped coming to the temple. Now the monk of the temple had doubt about this woman, maybe some problem with her husband, something like this. One day, she came to the temple, and the monks were very surprised and asked her why she was not coming to the temple, why she has stopped coming to the temple. And she told to the monk that, she informed to the monk that, you know, this situation of my temple has changed a lot. As I practice loving kindness meditation here, I started forgiving my husband for his abusive behavior, and I try to see the things from her own perspective, from his perspective. Before, when my husband tried to beat me, I reacted him angrily. But now, when he tried to beat me up, I did not react angrily. I just give him a kiss, smile him, talk with him very nicely. Because of that, the behavior of my husband changed. Now he doesn't beat me up, doesn't abuse me anymore. Therefore, I stopped coming to the temple. This is the power of loving kindness meditation. This is the power of forgiveness. We all know that hatred never sees through hatred. Hatred only sees through loving kindness, forgiveness. Whenever we face any situation that we don't like, the first thing we do is react to the situation. Whenever someone try to bully us, insult us, the first thing we do is to react with that person. In reality, without our reaction, such bullies and irritation has no power. But forgiveness has power to change one's attitude, to change one's mind from negative to positive. Forgive, because forgiveness is the way to conquer the suffering that created by your enemies. Forgiveness is the way to free yourself from the prison of hatred that created by your enemies, that created by someone to defeat you. Therefore, if you are suffering from the mistreatment, wrong behavior, cheating, social politics, office politics, and so many things. The first thing you must do is to forgive those who are responsible for your suffering. Why? If you cannot forgive, they will win. If you forgive and let go, they will be defeated. If you forgive, your own red heart heals. If you are unable to forgive, the own created by your enemies will be worse. Finally, it will kill you, and your enemy will win. Therefore, anger, resentment, holding the grudge bring you nothing but full of hatred and suffering. Therefore, it is not for your enemy's sake, it is for the sake of your mental well-being. It is for the sake of your own happiness. Don't wait for tomorrow. Forgive now. Now is the gift. Use this gift to forgive your enemies and free yourself from the bondage of hatred. Thank you.